Hey everybody, John Lance from the bench. Mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe right now so you can get all of our content here on SportsMap HOU. Lance, let's talk about Carlos Correa. The common thought is, you know what, you can't pay him to let him walk. Okay, I get that. But after this weekend and after his hot start, a lot of people are saying pay that man. If Carlos walks, has a great career someplace else, especially if it's the rival, which he can go anywhere he wants, Are fans going to hold this against the Astros organization?
Yeah, I think anytime that you have a homegrown talent, a guy who was the first pick of the draft, a player that you waited for, and he showed flashes and had signs and had seasons, or at least 2017 was a big one for him. This is finally the culmination. This is the Carlos Correa that we had hoped for and that has materialized, and unfortunately it's happening in a free agent season. It's going to be tough because if you pay him the amount of money that the market dictates Carlos Correa is going to go for, which is going to be in the neighborhood of $300 million, however they get there, it's tough because that sets a precedent for the rest of your roster for future years. And I asked this question, John, and I think this is a tougher question. Based on the way the Astros operate, which is a value-based, analytics-driven system, I wonder if Carlos Correa is just the tipping point of what will be challenging times for the Houston Astros as they really have to navigate the waters of what appears to be a changing salary structure with young star-level players making these unbelievably expensive long-term deals. Do you ever see the Astros doing that?
No, that's it. It's the long-term deal. I mean, they've done the 5-year deals. They've done Altuve was a longer deal. They did Bregman for 5 years when they didn't have to do Bregman. But they're not. I don't know that they're ever going to be in the business of 7, 8, 10 years. And here's the crazy thing: is that Tatis is only going to make $24 million a year. But because it's a $340 million deal, it's $340 million. But it's only 24 a year. He is going to regret this thing in about 5, 6, 7 years. Whereas Lindor was 10, 34, 1. He's making 34 a year, 10 million more a year. You want to do a 14-year deal with somebody? Obviously not. But that crazy money isn't crazy when it's all said and done because it's only $24 million a year.
Yeah, but it's all guaranteed, so it is. Like, when it's all said and done, if Tatis is terrible in 10 of those years, he's still got $340 million guaranteed. And that's why, if you're the Astros, do you flip the script and say, look, Carlos, if you really want to be here, and maybe he does really want to be in Houston, maybe this is where he and Daniela want to live, can you come in, John, and say, look, we know it's not going to be $300 million, but what if the Astros said, we will give you 8 at $240 million, which is $30 million a year? I have a feeling his agents would balk because they want all that guaranteed money. Because, by the way, that guaranteed money, they get a percentage of all that guaranteed money. So the guaranteed money is what matters most to the players and the agent. But if you really want to live in Houston, $240 million certainly is. Those are just numbers.
I got some insight on this, Lance.
Okay.
He would take $240 million. He would take $30 million a year from the Astros now. He absolutely would.
Well, let's get it done then.
Absolutely would. You want to commit for 8 years. You know what's funny? We're looking at Carlos Correa and going, oh, look, not injured. Oh, look at the production. And we're looking at Alex Bregman now going, yikes. He's not all that great. Yikes. He's injured. Wow. If I'd have asked you before the season started, who are you going to sign to a long-term deal? Bregman or Correa? Which would you have said?
Yeah, Bregman.
And now which one would you say?
Well, Carlos. And that's also the danger of using 2-month sample sizes, because the guy who's been consistent longer has been Bregman, without question. But the fact is, Carlos always had this kind of potential. We're just finally seeing it come to fruition. And with Bregman, I think he's in a slump, and I think he'll get out of it. But you telling me that Carlos is willing to take $30 million a year, if it is more about the APY, the average per year, and maybe not total guarantee, and I don't think it would be, this is where he grew up as a baseball player, the Astros organization. This is where they have roots. This is where they'll have their first child. So, maybe that is an advantage for Carlos Correa if it's not all about whatever the total number is on that contract. And let's hope so, because, boy, I'd love to see Correa stay an Astro.
Yeah, I would too. If they leave? Crazy question, but I might disagree with you on this one. Who are fans going to miss more, Carlos Correa or Deshaun Watson?
I think Correa, because he's got a title, and I know Deshaun did great stuff, but Carlos took you to your high. Carlos was part of a team that was part of the highest highs. That's the first girlfriend. You're just not going to forget the first girlfriend.
I'm gonna go Deshaun.
Really?
Because it's the number one sport. It's the NFL, biggest product, and the Astros are going to be fine without Carlos Correa. The Astros are still going to be a good baseball team. They're still going to be great hitters in that lineup, and they're still going to win games with these pitchers. George Springer left, and you know what? The Astros might be better this year than they have been. Carlos Correa leaves, they're still going to be really good. Without Deshaun, this organization sucks. So I'm going. The fans are going. Even if we don't know it, we're going to miss Deshaun more than we miss Carlos Correa.